Hi, Dylan. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So last week we talked about you just like kind of managing your stress a little bit better and going over like all the things you had to do and jumping into things, not overthinking or anything too much. So how's that going for you?
Good. I know last week we talked about specifically follies and going through those meetings and stuff, and really utilizing the resources in the house like you suggested.
Right.
Definitely did a lot for me and made it a lot easier to manage. And I didn't feel myself falling behind in school or anything like that. So
Okay,
it
good.
definitely helped in regards to managing my stress and just time in general last week.
Awesome. Okay, that's really good. So what do you want to talk about this week?
Well, I've been having some issues with my mom this week. Mostly what it is she obviously lives in Kansas City, which is where I'm from, and I think it's just hard because I'm the youngest child, and her having, an empty nest or whatever you call it is really hard. So she kind of she loves calling me 24/7 and just wants to tell me every detail of her life, which is awesome, and I want us to obviously stay close with her and do all that, but I feel it almost adds more stress to what I'm already going through and dealing with on a daily basis.
Okay, so I'm hearing that your mom just is just, since you're gone, she's just not letting you leave almost, she's just calling you all the time, and that's making you more stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does she call you just talking about school or something, or is it just hey, what's up?
Well, normally it's just hey, what are you doing right now? What are you doing today? How are all your friends? How's class? But then occasionally she'll call me, and she has the worst timing, so she'll call me and my grandparents have been really sick, so she'll just call me when she knows that I have a big test the next day or something like that, and wants to talk for 2 hours about it, and I feel bad because I can't be there for her with that because one, I'm not physically there, and two, it just stresses me out even more, and I have school and all that to worry about, so I just don't know how to quite handle those phone calls that I get from her so regularly.
Right. Does she have anybody else that she calls just as much, or are you just
It's more me. Out of the kids, she's a lot closer with me than she is with my brother, and my brother has a girlfriend, has his own home, and is kind of starting his own adult life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she really just clings to me because she knows that I'll be home this summer, and I'm still going through school, and I do obviously still rely on my parents a lot.
Right.
So I think she still thinks of me as a baby almost.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense because you are the baby of the family, and so she's having to make that transition.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you think you're doing okay with that transition? Maybe she thinks,
I think that I'm doing okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been here for almost a full school year, and I don't really have issues with family almost. I know that they're there for me, and I know that when I go home, everything will be the same. But I think she may just think that I'm having more issues than I am. But I also think that it's more her, honestly, more her just not really knowing to do with not knowing what to do with her time, I guess.
Right.
Because normally it was just so focused on me and school dances and all that.
Right.
So it's definitely just different for her. And my dad travels a lot, so I think it's just her realizing that she doesn't necessarily have someone to talk to all the time when she's at home.
Yeah. And is that normally just something you did when you were home? Y'all were really close?
Yeah. I'm my mom's my best friend, and since it's my senior year, I had a reduced schedule, so I was home a lot with her, and we go to lunch and get our nails done, do all that typical mother-daughter stuff, and I think she's just realizing that she doesn't have that anymore. And even my best friends that's go to KU right now, and they're 40 minutes away, they're home a lot with their moms, and I think she just sees that and wishes that I could be home with her.
That makes sense. How often do you go home?
Well, I wasn't going to go home until the end of the school year, but I'm actually going home this coming weekend for a good friend of mine's birthday. So I'll see her then. But normally I go home I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times a semester. So I go home pretty frequently, but it's always it's normally at her request.
Yeah.
She wants to see me, and obviously I go home for holidays and stuff like that. But yeah, she definitely, anytime I mention it, she definitely encourages it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's her mom. But you'll be home in 3 weeks?
Yep, 3 weeks.
Okay, so I guess when she'll be back home, you spend all that time with her again.
Yeah.
So maybe once you come back to school, you'll start again. So you have to maybe communicate with her a little bit more.
Yeah, explain to her what I'm, I guess, feeling about the situation.
Because I'm sure she doesn't realize that.
Yeah, and I don't think she does. I think that she just like assumes that things are going to be the same even though I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like telling her, I guess just how I'm feeling would be a good way to like make that transition easier for both of us.
Yeah.
So that I'm not like going through all this plus like school and friends and everything next semester when it comes. And like I also have like a heavier course load next semester, so I'm gonna have to like let her know that I can't come home as much,
Right.
and be there all the time.
That sounds really good. I love talking to you. See you
Good
next
talking to
week.
you.